Welcome back to Team Adams Teaching. Today we're going to look at how to solve proportions. This is actually a review from something we've done earlier, but we're about to use them again for a lot of different things. So I thought it couldn't hurt to see it one more time. So first off, how do you solve proportions? The easiest and fastest way is just to find an equivalent fraction. And sometimes this is really easy to do and you can see it and it takes no time at all. We know we want to find out 5/7 is equal to how many 21sts. And I can see here that if I were to multiply 7 times 3, I would get 21. So if I do the same thing to the top, multiply by 3, I'm going to get that x is 15. And just this is the equivalent of multiplying by 1. 3 over 3 is the same as 1, so we took 5/7 and multiplied it by 1 and got a version equivalent to it. The next one, 4 over w equals 2/3. As I look here, I'm trying to find w, and so I want to find out how did I get from here to here? Well, I did 2 times 2 is 4, so to find w, I'll have to do 3 times 2. And again, that one's going to be a 6. We have w is 6. So that's quickest, easiest way. Find an equivalent fraction and you're done. However, sometimes it's not that easy, or maybe you're just not seeing the number that they multiplied by or divide by. So in that case, you can do something called using cross products, and it's also known as the butterfly method from a lot of teachers. And it's this: you're basically using the theory that when you have, let's say, 4/6 and 2/3, anytime you have equivalent fractions, when you multiply diagonally, you should get the same answer. 3 times 4 is 12. 6 times 2 is 12. If they are truly proportional, the cross products will be equal to each other. So we're going to use that to our advantage here to try and find x. I say to myself, 8 times what is 10? I don't know. So if you're in that same boat, what we'll do instead is use our cross products. We're just going to multiply the two things across from each other, multiply the two things across from each other. I always like to start with the one that has the x in it, but you don't have to. So I have 10 times x here is 10x equals, don't forget the equal sign in the middle, and then here we have 8 times 7 is 56. So now we're back to that one-step equation we've been looking at. We're going to divide both sides by 10 so that we can get x by itself. And when we do, we get 5.6 is our value of x. We're going to do the same thing here. This one I see, well, we can use equivalent fractions, but maybe it's kind of confusing. You see this 2x over here and you think, I'm not sure what to do. If you're not sure, this always works cross products. So I like the one with the x first. I'm going to do 6 times 2x, that's 12x. And then I'm going to do 5 times 12, that's 60. So I'm left with 12x equals 60. One-step equation, we're going to divide both sides by 12. And we get x is equal to 5. And then we have the last two problems down at the bottom for everyone to try. If you haven't already, you might pause the video and see if you can do these without my help. All right, so to start with, I look to see, can I just find an equivalent fraction? Do I know what 4 times what is 20? And you know what I do? I do know 4 times 5 is 20. So I'll do the same thing on the bottom, times 5. End up with x is 7 times 5, or 35. Notice that way is a lot quicker. But the next one I want to solve, and I notice that to get from 5 to 12, I multiply by, it doesn't work out so nicely. So this is where we're going back to cross products. I'm going to multiply things across from each other and set them equal to each other. And so we'll start with 5 times x, that's our 5x. And we have 2 times 12, that's 24. Back to that one-step equation. I'm going to divide both sides by 5 to get x by itself. 5 can go into 24 4 times with a remainder of 4 or 4/5 left over. If you wanted to write that as a decimal number, you could have 4.8 would also be correct. So there it is, another way to solve proportions, cross products, or finding equivalent fractions. They both work, and you can just use them as you see fit. All right, guys, it was good. We'll see you later.